Hi, man.
Good morning. So I'm Rich from Driftworks, and I'm with Craig from Dyno Torque. A lot of people will know Craig from building the Corolla, building several of your cars, but this is your ex-road car, isn't it?
Yeah, I built it 2 years ago, I think it was now, for myself to use on the road. Started off as a bit of a project just because there's so many of these around with blown engines. It seemed like a good idea to do it. We started off looking at doing Audi 180T conversion in it.
Oh yeah, you actually got a bit of the way through.
Yeah, well, we did the adapter plate and got the motor in. When you look at doing it, there's no way getting around that the back of the head sits basically into the bulkhead.
Yeah.
Which meant cutting the bulkhead, which I really dislike doing.
And it messes with all the heater and everything as well.
Yeah, you'd have to modify the heater, and it's just really intrusive cutting that part of the body. Really, I don't like doing it.
So, and also, you kind of like V8s, don't you?
yeah, absolutely.
So
it's sort of my thing.
Tell us how many V8 conversions you think you're responsible for?
54 now.
54 V8 conversions. Yeah. That's including your own car.
Yeah.
Your own cars, actually.
Yeah, so your previous daily was an RX7, wasn't it?
Yeah. Which, hang on, we'll see. Here, bing.
Right. That was a few hundred horsepower?
Yeah, that was plenty of torque as well. Yeah.
So what was the figure on that?
It's 1017 at 1 bar. Never pushed it above that because I wanted 4 figures, so it did 4. I mean, I could have run it 1.5 bar or something, but I just...
You wanted it usable for the road.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I ran it round at 4 PSI, which was about 780.
Yeah.
And it was stupid. I mean, it was just, it broke everything. Like,
that car was excellent. I'll never forget in my V10 M3, we were coming back from a show, and it was tracks, wasn't it? Yeah. And I gave it some up the road, and then just saw Craig just twitching in the background like this, like, what's going on? Oh, here he comes. And then it's probably about 5 seconds later when he finally got traction. I think he overtook me 100 miles an hour faster than I was going. Literally,
it was very fast. I mean, ridiculous car.
It was brilliant.
So in choosing the RX8, you wanted something you can get your offspring in the back.
I mean, it ticked all the boxes. It's a 4-seater car, fantastic chassis, terrible engine.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what the internet says,
I'm not.
It's the Renesis specifically, isn't it?
I'm not a rotary hater. I mean, I love rotaries.
Yeah.
I just couldn't deal with the crap you have with them. I mean, we see it day in, day out. People spend thousands and rebuild them, do their absolute best.
Yeah.
And then something stupid kills it, and it's just, fair play to them for putting up with them, but I couldn't.
I mean, how much can you get these shells for now with a dead engine?
For us, they're like 300 quid.
Yeah, I mean, they're going up a little bit now because people are sort of like buying them for bits to try and rebuild them and that. But I mean, I think I paid £500 for that car,
which is about, let's say, $700 for those of you in the know. Yeah.
I sold the engine. It turned out the cap was blocked on it. That's all was actually a matter with it. So I got £500 back for the engine. I sold the tyres off it. I sold bits back. It owed me nothing, and it's I mean, I actually bought. This was the third one I bought because I found a better one, then I found a better one, and then.
Because this is the one with the body kit on, isn't it?
Yeah, this has got the. I think it's got the Mazda appearance kit.
The appearance.
It's only very subtle little side skirt snap, but it just really works.
And the splitter as well.
Yeah, and the little bits down the side, and just a little boot spoiler. The boot spoiler is a little bit bigger than standard, but just want it subtle,
So with the Craig Taylor approach of modifying things, you love your big brake kits, don't you?
I did. I mean, if you're going to put a lot of power to the brakes on these, they're okay, but for like 2 hits, and then they're pretty bad.
So you've got Alcon front and rear?
Alcon 380mm fronts, 360mm rears. The rear is the original bit. It's actually got a BMW M3 back axle.
So why did you have to do that then?
Basically, the standard diff. The first one we did an LS1, and literally pulled away, hit second, and the diff fell out of it.
Oh, right,
it just snapped. The main Mazda support, the Gus top, is alloy on these, and then on RX7 it's still, and just literally snapped it in half. So
did that go? I'm guessing it didn't go straight in.
It wasn't that bad. Believe it or not, the 2 rear mounting points for the back axle, it's a 4 mounting cradle, actually go straight over they go over the original bolt holes.
Oh, okay.
We have to do quite a lot of modifying at the front to make it work, but it's a very similar 5-link rear axle.
Yeah, we think that Mazda paid pretty close attention to the E90 chassis, didn't they, when they
absolutely.
designed
I mean,
this?
there must be some, like where the front link comes forward on the Mazda one, there's a dent in the fuel tank, like a relief.
Yeah.
And the BMW one fits the same relief.
Yeah.
So
there's
got to be some, or it's very high coincidence.
Yeah.
So you're running HSD MonoPros in this. Are you running RX8 still on the back, or is it converted?
It's RX8 rear with an M3 bottom.
Okay.
Luckily, I'm next door to Driftworks, and they're very good at going, I need this that fits this and this, and you know, it's that worked.
And then it's full just normal RX out on the front.
RX8 front, polybushed. Again, helpful next door having a stockist, which is just wander around. So anyway, polybush rear beam, brakes we say. And chassis-wise, that's about it. It's an incredibly good chassis, really, really good fun.
But you put a V8 in it, so therefore ruined it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, your balance will be completely ruined, won't it?
Yeah. And also with the back axle, it's a 3.15 diff ratio rather than like a 4.1
ratios.
Yeah, it makes a
But you
massive difference.
love a long diff, don't you, for a road car, especially?
Absolutely. I mean, I've got an M3 now, and at 4,000 revs, well, 100 mile an hour, it's 4,000 revs, which is horrendous. You know,
on a private road.
On a private road, obviously. You know, but I'm going to put the DCT diff in, which this is. You know, so like 90 mile an hour in this, I think it's like 1,700 revs. And when you've got the power to pull it, why not?
Yeah.
You know, if you've only got like, you know, 50 foot-pound of torque like the standard one, then fair enough, but this isn't.
So you did the brakes. Now the brakes all limited what you could run wheel-wise, wasn't it? You couldn't get 18s over these, could you?
Some. I might be able to get some, you know, there is clearance there, but I ran 380mm on my RX7 and I got 18s over it. The work, same as these actually.
So, Rich, what are the wheel specs?
Ultimate Kiwamis, 9.5 38 fronts and 10.5 32 rear.
Yeah, and obviously you got the 5x120 VCD rears.
Yeah.
And then you got no stretch at all, have you, on the tyres?
There's a 295 Cup 2, aren't they?
Yeah.
Michelin Cup 2.
Yeah.
Awesome tyre.
I don't like that. That stretch with wheels that don't fit. That's not.
That's not Craig's cup of tea.
I like it to work.
When you can see the outside of the wheel from the back of the car, you don't like that, do you?
Well, I just said trashing it. And at the end of the day, this was built.
It's a road.
It was built for a day. It's a road. You know, I used it for 18 months. I think it was. You know, kid runs, everything. It was just. I just like it to work.
Should we have a look at the
important bits?
Yeah.
Because it just looks like a nicely done RX8. Yeah. You know, it's got nice wheels, nice fitment.
Would you call this a sleeper?
It is a bit of a sleeper, I think. Yeah, because everyone expects these things to be slow as shit, don't they? But this one's not. So this one has. Let's get that in there. 454 LSX, 7.4 litre of joy.
Is this the same, not this identical, but it's what we're running in the Corolla, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's the same as in this one, except we have like an RHS version for that. We have got a steel block LSX as well, the same exact engine as this, but this one's got, the RX8's basically got the standard cam and valve train in it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the standard from Parts World 454 LSX.
So you didn't want a big lumpy cam or?
Well, the cam that come in is quite big, and if you go much bigger, you start getting what they call shunt, where like you're driving traffic and it starts shunting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically when you put massive throttle bodies on and massive lumpy cams, they become quite difficult to drive at low speed.
In traffic, I mean, we live in Birmingham, it's traffic, so that would be a pain. I mean, I've done that and it's miserable.
Yeah,
so
the only solution we found when you run a big cam is to change this, and we've run GemV, so ITBs basically solve a bit of the issue with that, and instead of having one big throttle body.
But then they're noising, you know. I wanted this to be, I didn't build it as a competition car, it was just a nice run-of-the-mill car to sort of show off a bit of the work as well.
So why did you go for the big fast intake?
But the engine doesn't come with an intake and everything, so it was like, well, I need to buy one, and they're a bit more money than standard, but they give it like another 20 horse or so. It's also got the 102mm Nick Williams throttle body, which they're normally 90mm, so it's got the big throttle body.
And what's the Holley EFI thing? So all your fuel injection?
They're just fuel rails. Yeah, it's got big injectors. Injectors a bit over spec what it needs, but you know, never know what I was going to do with it next.
And there's standard headers off an LS7 or something?
No, LS3 headers.
LS3
headers.
And they're big enough?
Yep. I mean, people say, oh, they're never going to work and they're terrible, and I hear it all the time about headers and they don't work and that. And I mean, I ported them just to port match the head.
Yeah.
I mean, we've ran this against, on the same time, with other LS454s, and it's actually, well, this is actually about 3 horsepower up on one with like tubular headers. So there's so many things that vary, but they work absolutely fine. One of the things was time. I mean, when you're doing it for yourself, you can't justify spending a week making headers.
No.
No,
you can justify it when I'm paying you to do it on that one.
Yeah. 3 times. And I wasn't after outright top end power.
So
anything,
what are the figures on this?
This made 590 brake horse, and I think it was about 610 foot-pound of torque.
That was on the stingy dyno though, the one that we don't like using.
I mean, yeah, it's not a happy dyno by any means. I mean, the engine's rated at 620 standard, but I think that's...
You take that with a bit of a pinch of salt, don't you?
Horsepower,
Have you done anything else? Was this is an aftermarket radiator?
That's one of the Driftworks radiators, which I don't think you do anymore.
No.
Standard RX8 fans, because I've learnt one thing over the years, that aftermarket fans are pants.
Yeah.
They're just rubbish.
Yeah.
You can't beat standard fans because they're just way more efficient.
And reliable as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And cheap as chips.
Yeah.
You know, Emerald ECU, who sorted us out with, we went with another ECU brand originally because they said, oh, we can run that car, no problem.
Yeah.
Rubbish. Absolute junk. So, went back to Emerald, which we've always used, and good as gold, all works.
So with the Emerald ECU, you've managed to retain some of the interior features, haven't you?
Yeah, the dash all works. Original Mazda throttle pedals integrated to the GM.
Oh, is it fly-by-wire then?
It's all fly-by-wire, yeah, all works.
ABS all works and everything else?
ABS is a problem on this because of the back axle, because it runs different sensors, which I've got an electronics guy making a little module, because it needs to be converted from 48 teeth to 44. And one's a digital and one's an analog signal, so it needs a converter, which has been a bit of a pain. Or we might just put the other answer is to put the RX8 trigger wheels on the axle.
That's a lot of fabrication.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I drove around for 18 months like this. It didn't bother me, it's fine.
No.
So no wheel cutting on the body, we didn't have to cut the tunnel or the head, or there's no cutting back there at all.
And what gearbox are you running on this?
This has got a TR6060 and an MG9. It's basically, they do a high torque gearbox for this engine and the LSA and the LS9.
This is all a brand new aftermarket.
It's GM parts, yeah.
Okay.
And it comes with a factory twin plate clutch, which are very strong, aren't they, Rich? Not as strong as the brakes.
Yeah, the rear brakes are strong.
Yeah.
I guess that's the benefit from all the Alcons and.
Yeah, I mean the clutch is literally like driving a Fiesta. It's super light. Really strong. They'll take about 800 foot-pound of torque. So
yeah,
one heavy foot.
Yeah.
If you were to do this again, would you change anything you did on it?
Not really. No, it all come out like super. Exactly what I wanted, really.
Just lower it slightly.
Probably not. No.
As we've already discussed, Craig does not like the same ride height as you.
As the rest of them.
Yeah.
The thing is that, that on the way home bottoms out on 2 or 3 speed bumps and getting on and off my driver as it is, so...
You're driving the wrong way.
Well, he's obviously driving fast, isn't he?
Yeah. Should we listen to what it sounds like?
Yeah, I guess that's the point of it. This is the bit that the internet usually really hates. Oh, it sounds disgusting. Why would you want to replace a rotary with that?
It's a full twin 3-inch exhaust back to a 3.5-inch single outlet on the back.
A Craig Taylor special.
Yeah. Will it start? Oh, you big boy racer.
knocked over the entire building.
That was actually the second exhaust I made for it. The first one I made was horrendous.
Why? Too loud?
It's a bit too loud.
Just too loud. It droned terribly. I mean, it had all switchover valves and it just didn't work. Terrible.
Just a big back box now then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that wraps up this video. Like I said, we did the trolling video a few years ago where
It went down well, that one.
went down well, and a lot of people were asking just for a more in-depth review at this, and well, this car is sadly leaving us, so we thought we'd grab Craig, do a quick video.
Yeah.
And yeah, any questions, let us know, and we'll get Craig to have a look, maybe.
Share the love, share the hate.
No, don't. What's not to like?
See you later, guys.